Hey, Triple H, why don't you just fucking bend Randy Orton over, mount him, and just ride his ass down to the ring, huh? Monday Night Raw episode for August 26, 2013. This episode, I liked some of it. There were a lot of parts I liked, and there were other parts that, I'm not going to say I disliked them, but I am going to say that I found them to be very, very boring. And let's get started with this opening segment. You've got the Shield at ringside, all three members. You've got Randy Orton coming out, Daniel Bryan's out there, but they are all completely overshadowed by Triple H. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I just got to be honest here. To me, it seems like Triple H is just fucking smothering this new main event angle that they've got going. There's just too much of him all over the place. He's just like you're giving a hug to a big fat guy, and he just sucks you in, and you get your arm stuck in there, and then your fucking your legs are in, and all before you know it, you can't breathe because you got this fat fuck just engulfing you. That's what it feels like. Triple H is engulfing this storyline. He's smothering Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. They barely get any time on TV compared to Triple H. And what the fuck is up with that? Triple H, his prime was 10, 15 years ago. He's done. I'm sorry. I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. I don't want to see him talking, at least not as much as he is. Not taking up 15 minutes of this 20-minute opening segment. Are you fucking shitting me? No, I don't want to see that. So yeah, Daniel Bryan does what he can. He thanks the fans. He's good on the mic for his part, but Triple H just, he overshadows him. Randy Orton is really fucking stuffed in the ass by Triple H. This guy, I feel bad for Orton a little bit because, he's nothing but a Triple H lackey. Kind of the same thing with the Shield. They're all just fucking lackeys to Triple H. And I don't like the way the angle is going at this point. Triple H buys Orton a Cadillac Escalade. The car comes out next to the ramp, and immediately I know Daniel Bryan's going to do something to the car before the night's over. And even though I know it's going to happen, I still don't care. I want to see it. I just want to see what they're going to do. So yeah, the opening segment was not that great. It was too much Triple H everywhere, once again. And this motherfucker when he gets out there and gets on the mic, he just kills all the energy in this main event storyline because he is like a dog chasing his tail. He just is going around in circles saying the same thing over and over again. Why? Why does he do that? It takes him 10 fucking minutes to do it, too. It's too much goddamn time. Triple H has got to be more concise. He's just got to get out there, say what he's got to say, and get over with it, and then give the mic to Randy Orton and let Orton and Daniel Bryan talk. Fucking get Triple H out of there. But of course, that's not going to happen. That's just wishful thinking on my part. Oh, next up was Cody Rhodes versus Fandango, and Damian Sandow was on commentary. And after what I would consider to be Teddy Long SmackDown-esque booking, we eventually get into a tag team match with Fandango and Damian Sandow versus The Miz and Cody Rhodes. I did not give a shit about this match. Oh, I did get this down, though. Michael Cole says, when they come back from the commercial break after the tag match is made, Cole says, "We had what felt like an NSYNC reunion out here earlier." JBL says, "Well, you already said that, Cole." And Michael Cole says, "Well, that was on the app. I had to say it again for our regular audience." I just want you to take a second and just think about how fucking stupid that is. So Fandango walks away from the match and Sandow gets pinned by The Miz. And I didn't really care. For a lot of reasons, but at the end it was because of two words, The Miz. So next up was a match they were hyping pretty early on in the show for like the first hour main event. Curtis Axel versus CM Punk. WWE fans, wait, Universe gets to vote that if Punk wins, then Heyman has to step in the ring with CM Punk. That was the voting that they picked. And the wrestling match was alright. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the back and forth between Curtis Axel and CM Punk. It was a good match. And then it just ended real quick with CM Punk picking him up, nailing Axel with the GTS, and getting the pin. So now Heyman's got to get in the ring, but he tries to run away. Security, referees, they pull him back out to the ring. They get him in there. Punk is about to go in on him when Axel comes in, hits him from behind, and then they handcuff CM Punk. And Axel's holding Punk up, and Heyman is just he's just bitch slapping him. He's just slapping the shit back and forth out of CM Punk. It was funny as hell. Then they break out a kendo stick. Axel hands the stick to Heyman, and CM Punk's like, make it a good one, Paul. Make it a good one. And Paul Heyman just beats the shit out of CM Punk with his kendo stick. I mean, it looked nasty. And CM Punk was bleeding by the end of it because he's got him. He just beats him down out to the announcer's table, whips his ass with the stick next to the announcer's table. It's splinters fucking flying everywhere and shit. It was a good sight, a good visual. You got to see the blood on his back, the welts on Punk's back. It was a very good visual. It looked brutal. It was emotional. You could feel the hatred between Paul Heyman, CM Punk. These two, again, another great segment between them on another episode of Raw. I enjoy it every time. It's good stuff. I really enjoyed this segment. After this great segment was some fucking garbage with the Total Divas. And I think AJ came out at one point. I don't know. I skipped the whole fucking thing. They lost me. I'm not going back to it yet. I can't do it. Up next, Ricardo Rodriguez brings out RVD, which is still one of the strangest pairings in recent memory. For me, anyway. You get RVD versus Alberto Del Rio. And Ricardo was wearing an RVD shirt, and there were tiny little mini Mexican flags on all the ring posts around the ring, and what the fuck is going on? This match was alright. It was a little sloppy at parts, in my opinion. I mean, some of RVD's kicks looked like he was whiffing. Del Rio was off of some of his timing. It just didn't go like I think it should have. But the match was okay. The crowd was really into it, so that helped. Ricardo winds up distracting Del Rio on the outside, and then RVD rolls Del Rio up with the leg scissors and gets a quick pin. And now he's the new #1 contender. I have a problem with this. In fact, I have two problems with this. Problem number one is they just did this fucking angle with Christian. That's how he became the #1 contender. Problem number two is I have never, ever, ever liked the storyline angle where the champion, the world champion, has to lose to a guy, and then that guy becomes the #1 contender. All of a sudden, that guy's built up to #1 contender status. That is fucking stupid. It makes the champion look weak as hell, and then in a couple of weeks at the next pay-per-view, we're just going to see the same fucking match again. I don't like that at all. I've never understood that in all the years I've been watching wrestling. It's a stupid way to go. And every title, except for the WWE title, has had that happen to them. The champion gets beat by this guy, now all of a sudden the guy's the #1 contender. No, make the guy earn it in a #1 contenders match against other people, not against the champion himself. It's fucking dumb. Hey, guess what? Surgery update on John Cena. I told you so. And after that, we got another terrible backstage Ryback segment. I'm not watching them. Just not going to do it. I'm not into it. After that was Christian versus Randy Orton. And this match was pretty good. It was a long match. I liked it. Christian's a good worker. Orton can be a good worker sometimes. It all depends on who he's in the ring with, in my opinion. And Christian and Orton, they meshed well together in this match, and this was a good wrestling match. There was a great false finish at the end of the match with Christian hitting a spear. Orton kicked out at 2. But as goes with most big matches that Christian's in, I never really get the sense that he's going to win. I just know he's going to lose. They never really make me think that he's going to win. And the same thing happened here. Orton thumbs him in the eye when the ref isn't looking. He nails the RKO, gets the win, knew it was going to happen. Never really thought otherwise. Then Daniel Bryan shows up on the Titantron, and he's got yes spray painted all over the new Orton mobile. And honestly, I was hoping for a little bit more damage done to the Escalade than that, which they then called the Yescalade, which was just fucking stupid. I mean, that was corny. Fucking corny as hell. But I was hoping they would do something more to that. then like get hit it with a ball bat or maybe do something to the tires, windshields, but just spray painting yes all over it. It's alright. I guess it's the PG version of vehicle destruction. So after the commercial, we get more Triple H. He's telling Brad Maddox to get everyone out on the ramp for the Daniel Bryan gauntlet match. And if they try to interfere during the match, they're going to get fired. So they have to stand there and watch what happens to Daniel Bryan, just like last week. I really didn't care for the line where Triple H said that the title was his personal property and that Orton was carrying it for him. I know that's a line that he's saying to be the heel and to try to get heat as a heel, but it feels like that's what's really happening. There's just too much Triple H all over the place. And I don't like the angle. I don't like it. I don't like Triple H being in there as much as he is. Scale him way, way back. Let Orton and Daniel Bryan be the focus. But no, it's Triple H. It's Triple H's title. It's Triple H's guy with Orton. It might as well be fucking Triple H instead of Orton. And I fucking hate that. So up next was Titus O'Neil versus Jack Swagger. There was a pretty decent pop for the primetime players when they came out. And the match was okay. It was nothing special. Titus won. Obviously still riding that momentum of Darren Young coming out. Whatever. I'm happy to see the team, primetime players, still moving in a positive direction. Up next was the main event of the show, Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins in the first of 3 matches. If he beats Rollins, he's got to beat Dean Ambrose, and then he's got to beat Roman Reigns. Before the match starts, Big Show and Ziggler are getting interviewed up on the ramp about the 3-on-1 handicap matches they each had to go through on the previous week, and how they felt about that, and about what's going to happen to Daniel Bryan right here, right now, and nobody wanted to comment. Miz didn't want to say anything either, because nobody wants to get fired. But I didn't really care. I just wanted to see the match, and the match was very good. Good match, good wrestling, fast-paced, energetic. Daniel Bryan nails the suicide dive onto Seth Rollins at one point, and Rollins just fucking barrel rolls over top of the announcer's table. He just, right into Michael Cole's chair. Michael Cole is just, he's off. He's way out of there. This is a great spot. And then towards the end of the match, Daniel Bryan does this top rope belly-to-back suplex. Rollins does a flip like a moonsault in the air, lands on his face. It was an amazing spot. Crowd was already on their feet, and they fucking exploded after that. They were going berserk. And then Daniel Bryan starts fucking hulking up on the ring. He gets up. He fucking nails Seth Rollins with something. I have no idea what, because the crowd was in the shot, not the actual ring action. And then Daniel Bryan gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. He wins his first match. So this was good stuff. I enjoyed the match. Crowd was super into it. They were hot. And then Dean Ambrose comes in, immediately starts attacking Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan manages to lock in the label lock. And that's when Roman Reigns comes in, and then the whole thing fucking breaks down. Daniel Bryan wins by DQ, I think. And then it's Daniel Bryan getting destroyed by the Shield. And then Orton comes out. He nails the RKO. Triple H is out there, too. He's not letting anybody go down to help Daniel Bryan. Big Show standing out, he's shaking, and the crowd's chanting his name because he looks like he's about to hit Triple H, but he never does. So then, at the end of the show, it's Daniel Bryan in a heap once again, 2 weeks in a row, 3 shows in a row if you count SummerSlam. So Daniel Bryan did put on a great match, and technically he won. He won the gauntlet match. But I'm still waiting for that big Daniel Bryan moment where he goes, this time, I got you. And he's standing tall at the end of the show. That hasn't happened yet. And 3 shows in a row of seeing Daniel Bryan in a heap, I mean, I know they're trying to build up the odds against him, but again, I still have that same problem, that it's just too overwhelming. I want to see Daniel Bryan get something, not at the middle of the show. I want to see it happen at the end of the show. I want the show going off the air with Daniel Bryan being the guy that's on top. Overall, I like this show a lot, and aside from way too much Triple H, which I don't think is going to change anytime soon, there wasn't a whole lot else I disliked. It was just there was some stuff I was bored with. But overall, I thought the show, it was okay. You know, I'll take 2 okay shows in a row versus like 100 fucking shows, 200 shows with John Cena, like all over it. So I do still like where the WWE is going right now, but they really, really have to they have to scale Triple H back. I don't see that happening, and it's going to keep pissing me off more and more. But on this show, I like the Punk Axel match and the segment afterwards, and then the Daniel Bryan Seth Rollins match. Those are my two favorite parts of the show. So check those out, if nothing else. And that's going to do it for me, JB Squared 61279. I will see you guys next time.